Have you ever caught your dog staring at you with that soulful, searching expression, tilting its head as though trying to decode a complex human secret? Most of us smile, scratch behind an ear, and assume the moment is simply cute. Yet, that gentle tilt, the soft sigh, or the sudden burst of zoomies racing down the hallway can reveal far more about a dog's inner life than we realize. Dogs, much like people, ride an emotional roller coaster every single day. They feel excitement when the leash appears, boredom during long stretches of silence, anxiety when the household energy spikes, and profound contentment when they stretch out beside someone they love. While they do not share our language, their bodies speak fluently through ear angles, tail positions, breathing rhythms, and even the faint chemical signals in their sweat. The better we recognize and respect those signals, the deeper and healthier our bond becomes. Scientists have long known that dogs monitor our moods with astonishing accuracy. Researchers at the University of Florida, for instance, found that dogs track subtle changes in a guardian's voice as closely as they track the movement of a tennis ball. A gentle cadence paired with a soft smile prompts tail wags and relaxed shoulders. A clipped tone or tense jaw can cue flattened ears and lowered posture. Dogs also sense hormonal changes. When you feel stressed, cortisol wafts off your skin, and your dog may respond with pacing or insistently placing a paw on your knee. When you exhale in relief, dopamine rises in your scent profile, and your dog often mirrors that shift by settling at your feet. Recognizing how closely a dog's emotional thermostat syncs to yours is the first step toward creating a safe, communicative home. Of course, a dog's mental state is not forged by human emotions alone. Age, breed heritage, daily routine, and living environment each sculpt how a dog copes with the world. A boisterous 1-year-old Labrador, genetically wired to retrieve and explore, will struggle in a tiny apartment where walks are scarce. An elderly Shih Tzu, whose joints ache on chilly mornings, might be terrified by rambunctious grandchildren if there is no quiet retreat nearby. Dogs also differ in resilience. Some shake off disruptions quickly, while others internalize stress and express it later through odd behaviors that look out of the blue. A seemingly trivial event, a dropped dish, the rumble of a garbage truck, a new piece of furniture, may plant a seed of worry that sprouts as chewing baseboards or refusing dinner the next day. Rather than labeling these reactions disobedience, we must see them as clues. Chewing remains one of the most misunderstood stress behaviors. When a dog feels trapped by uncertainty, too many hours alone, inconsistent rules, harsh voices, gnawing on shoes or chair legs offers a chemical reward. The repetitive jaw motion releases endorphins that take the edge off anxiety, much the way a human might bite nails or pace. Punishing the chewing without addressing the root emotion only raises the stress that triggered the behavior in the first place. Offering durable chew toys, rotating puzzle feeders, and ensuring predictable companionship can redirect that oral fixation into something healthy. Just as importantly, examine the schedule. Have solitary hours lengthened? Does the dog understand what is allowed and what is off limits? Consistency in the human routine calms the canine nervous system. Vocalizing also carries layers of meaning. A single bark when a stranger approaches is ordinary canine duty, yet drawn-out howling, whimpering behind a closed door, or frantic barking at nothing indicates emotional overload. Dogs left alone for 10 hours may voice their loneliness in the only language they have. Others vocalize when the household energy is chaotic. Visitors coming and going, children shouting, television blaring. Rather than silencing the sound with punishment collars or scolding, respond with empathy. Provide white noise machines, soothing classical music, or a sanctuary room where the dog can nap undisturbed. Schedule interactive play before long absences, so mental and physical energy is satisfied, and gradually build solo time with positive reinforcement. Imagine trying to meditate in a crowded subway station. That is how some dogs feel in noisy homes. Digging presents another window into canine anxiety. In the wild, canids dig dens for safety, temperature control, and to store treasures. Domestic dogs sometimes recreate that instinct when they feel insecure. A rescue dog adjusting to a new backyard might excavate near the fence because the cool Dirt feels like shelter. Inside, tearing rugs or scratching couch cushions can simulate burrowing into an underground haven. Rather than fuming over the latest crater in the lawn, provide a designated dig zone, a sandbox or corner of soil where buried toys and treats reward appropriate excavation. Combine that with confidence-building games and gradual exposure to the yard so the dog no longer perceives threats lurking beyond the fence. When stress becomes chronic, warning lights flash across the dog's entire physiology. A pup that pants excessively, even in cool temperatures, shakes waterless ears, licks lips when no food is present, or grooms until balding patches appear is sounding an alarm. Some dogs lose interest in meals, turning their noses away from a bowl they once devoured in seconds. Others guard food fiercely, resource hoarding when scarcity feels imminent. Both extremes point to a psyche off balance. Prolonged cortisol surges can disrupt digestion, raise susceptibility to infection, and dull the sheen of a once glossy coat. Just as untreated human anxiety erodes health, canine stress undermines the immune system and shortens lifespan. Food refusal in particular deserves rapid investigation. Pain, nausea, dental issues, or metabolic disorders can suppress appetite, so a veterinary exam is step one. Yet assuming physical illness is ruled out, look to emotional shifts. Did a beloved family member leave for college? Has the daily walk vanished because of guardian workload? Address the emotional vacuum. Re-establish routine feeding cues. Offer hand feeding in a peaceful corner, add a soft radio voice during meals, and increase affectionate touch that signals security. Dogs will often resume eating once the environment feels trustworthy again. Occasionally, anxiety morphs into risky escapades. Dogs squeeze under fences, bolt through open doors, or gnaw power cords not out of defiance, but because the thrill momentarily overrides loneliness or boredom. A dog racing down the street experiences full-body stimulation, sounds, scents, adrenaline, for which dull indoor life provided no substitute. Preventing these flights means enriching the home landscape. Scent, games, short clicker training drills, and novel walking routes satisfy curiosity in safer channels. High fences, double-door entries, and leash laws are physical safeguards, but mental fulfillment remains the deeper cure. Improving a dog's mental health starts with environmental stability. Predictable wake-up, meal, and rest times teach the nervous system to downshift. A quiet crate or gated room becomes a personal refuge when chaos swirls elsewhere. Stuffed Kongs, treat-dispensing balls, and crunchy chews give jaws a job and minds a puzzle. Each evening, 10 minutes of massage along the shoulders and hips not only soothes aching joints, but also reinforces secure touch. During daylight, brief training practices, sit, stay, touch, find it, engage the brain far more effectively than one marathon session. Celebrate each success with a pea-sized treat or exuberant yes, so the dog links learning with joy. Eye contact deserves special mention. Far from a dominance display, gentle gaze melts stress and floods both species with oxytocin. Sit on the floor, breathe evenly, and let your dog choose the moment to meet your eyes. When it happens, soften your expression and whisper a word of praise. Over time, this silent ritual becomes an anchor. In crowded parks or at the veterinarian's office, a brief eye connection can remind the dog you are still a trusted partner. Happiness, too, has a dialect. Watch for the full-body wiggle that starts at the shoulders and travels to the tail. Note the loose, rhythmic pant of a dog who cannot decide whether to fetch a ball or leap into your lap. Hear the contented sigh when a pup circles 3 times, then flops across your toes. These are not random quirks, they are canine declarations of well-being. Mirror that joy. Laugh, crouch, invite play, or simply stroke silk ears while murmuring. Sweet nonsense. Mutual delight strengthens the bond more than any glossy toy or expensive treat. Maintaining that bond requires ongoing care. Nutritious food fuels not only muscle, but neurotransmitter production. Regular veterinary checkups catch thyroid imbalance or arthritic pain that can masquerade as behavioral change. Gentle grooming keeps skin comfortable, eyes clear, and ears free of infection. For seniors, joint supplements, padded bedding, and ramp access to favorite couches ease the transition into golden years. And because monotony can stifle the happiest heart, sprinkle novelty into routine. hide treats along a new woodland trail, introduce a frozen carrot on a hot afternoon. Learn a low-impact trick like spin that sparks confidence without straining aging knees. The relationship between dog and guardian is one of life's rarest gifts. A friendship built on empathy without words, loyalty without contracts, and affection without judgment. By tuning into that wordless vocabulary, those furrowed brows, chewed slippers, nighttime whines, morning playbows, we honor the trust our companions place in us. We become not just providers of food and shelter, but interpreters, advocates, and healers of the hearts beating beside our beds. So the next time your dog pauses mid-step to study your face, pause with them. Ask yourself, what feeling am I broadcasting? Adjust your tone, soften your shoulders, open your palm, and invite connection. The answer you receive may be a wag, a nuzzle, or a sigh, but beneath that gesture lives an unspoken promise. I am here, for you as you are for me. When we listen to that promise, respond with patience, and shape an environment that meets both species' emotional needs, we create a household where anxiety fades, curiosity flourishes, and love speaks louder than any bark. If these insights resonate with your experience, consider sharing them with a friend who lives with a dog. Click like so the algorithm nudges this message toward more caring homes, and subscribe if you would enjoy future conversations about canine wellness. And please tell us your own story. How did you realize your dog was stressed, and what simple change made the difference? Your tale may spark relief and understanding for another guardian searching the internet at midnight, wondering why their beloved pup suddenly chewed a hole in the couch. Together, we can decode the silent language of dogs and ensure every wag, bow, and sleepy sigh is answered with the compassion it deserves.